All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Dad Pack. This one's going to be a little different. We don't have Jordan joining us in this episode. He was feeling a little bit under the weather, so he just got Ryan and I this episode, which, you know, that's all good. Hope Jordan gets better. Hopefully, we'll see him in the
Feel
next
pretty good.
episode. Yeah. All right, so let's kick it off. Be a little different. We do got a dad topic to go through today, but we'll get that later on in the episode. But before we do that, we got two quick things we wanted to cover. I guess we'll just jump right into pack news.
Pack news.
Pack news. There we go.
We-
It's just us. Yeah, I know. So obviously we're football fans around here, so we wanted to cover what's going on in the football world. The training camp just started. Sorry, my earphone, my headphones are messing up there. Training camp just started for all the teams. When this comes out, I think this comes out for us. This comes out tomorrow. So, yeah, training camp just started for all teams, and Dak is already throwing interceptions when he said he would only have like 10 for the year. So I just wanted to get
then
your opinion on that.
I mean, does it count in training camp? It doesn't count.
You're right. You're right. But you know what?
But
We over here
he's
that are
gonna
haters,
get-
we're already counting, bro. We're on day 2, and he's already thrown 2
Yeah,
picks,
but
bro.
Then it's
It
those
wasn't his
are
fault, though. I
just
will give
getting
him
out of
that.
his system. Get out of his system.
Is that's what you better be hoping, bro? Because goodness, is it a training camp? Now, granted, the first one that I saw, it was once again the receiver. It popped like it hit him right in the hands. It pops up. DB picks it off right there. And then the one today, he kind of just underthrew it a little bit, and that's just what happened. I guess he underthrew it, the receiver, and DB picked him off. Well, it really wasn't his ugliest ones. I've seen some ugly ones that he's thrown, but that wasn't that bad.
I love quarterbacks, I
sure.
think they take a little bit too much of the blame for interceptions. These guys are
Yeah.
at that level are so good that they are throwing to certain areas of the field, and if that receiver's not on the same page, then it gets picked off. And
It's over.
So I don't think that it's always the quarterback's fault, and especially if it's in the receiver's hands, like duh. But sometimes it'll look like, where are you throwing, dude? But he was reading inside and low, and the other guy was reading outside and up, and went two opposite ways. Not really fair.
Look, you can't look. It's the second day of training, so like, there's already critics in Philadelphia, like just laughing at Dak, and I think it's so funny. Like, I'm sorry, but
Okay.
Jalen didn't look that good last year in training camp. If you remember, like, he just looked okay. He was still throwing picks. We were critiquing him all over the place. There's no way we would have known that Jalen Hurts was going to ball out like he did last year. Nobody knew that. And I don't know that he's capable of doing it again this year. Like, I have no idea if he could do that again this year. I think that he's capable because he has good receivers now and we have a great offense. But
Yeah.
look, I'm not by any means a Cowboy fan, but I think they need to stop riding Dak so hard. Like, come on, dude. The dude's generally a good dude, and yeah, he's gonna throw his picks. I believe that he's gonna throw his picks. He's kind of like Eli in that game, like, or in those games. Like, you just know he's gonna throw at least one in the game. Hopefully, it's not in the most important part of the game, like the game-winning drive. But it's gonna happen.
I don't think he'll throw as many this year. I don't
think so either. I think with the different OC that the Cowboys got, I think it'll get better.
He's
So
about to have some wheels. He's going to
Yeah.
run the ball more. He's going to be more mobile. It really helps I have to throw the ball or I'm hit situation.
Yeah, but okay. What's y'all's running back's name? I know you guys got rid of Zeke. This guy Pollard. Okay, so
Pollard right now, yeah.
Is Pollard gonna be that guy? Because if we remember correctly, Pollard was injured last year at the end of the year, if I can remember correctly. So, though I like Pollard as a running back, yeah, he was injured, bro. He at some point, I think he had like a leg injury or something. And he had to get surgery.
I don't know if he had surgery.
I could be wrong. I'm not a Cowboy fan. You're right, but I know he had an injury for sure. So I don't know. I'm expecting him to be that same kind of explosive guy that he was, but I don't know that. I don't know if he's gonna be that guy. I haven't seen enough. I think he was a good tandem runner with Zeke. You know what I mean? But Zeke obviously wasn't that guy anymore. You know, you use Zeke in the red zone to push the pile, and then you use Pollard in between the 20s. I think that worked for them at the time, but I don't know that Pollard's the guy to carry the load. But I guess we'll see either way. But I've been seeing As you know, even though Philadelphia was just in the Super Bowl, nobody covers us for anything. Nobody covers us. We won the Super Bowl, and a year later,
No,
nobody covered us.
y'all not worth
Everybody's
it.
at Oxnard
Not
this year.
worth it.
We're going back to Oxnard. We're going back to Ox. Like, stop it. Okay, can we see another team, ESPN, for a few minutes? Like, can we just not see the Cowboys for 5 minutes? Oh, look, Dak threw another pick, and let's make fun of that for 10. Like, come on, there's 32 teams. At least show the Eagles like one time. I gotta go to Eagles.com or like go to like YouTube channels to find like footage of the Eagles at this point in their training camp. It's ridiculous. Now, I will say this though, I am happy that the football season's back, even though it's not back. It's back. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Almost
happy
here.
to see football. Yeah, we're a couple weeks away from college. I'm pumped about college too. Um,
Yeah.
so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited for this is so stupid. I'm excited for preseason because we have 2 first round picks and I want to see what they can do. And I'm
Oh yeah,
also
I
want
love
to see
preseason.
what yeah, I want to see preseason. I want to see what Jalen Carter can do and Nolan Smith can do. I want to see what our backup quarterbacks look like. Like if Jalen Hurts get hurt, what's going to happen? Like there's a lot going into this. But on the theme of NFL, we wanted to kind of run over the this year's Madden ratings. First off, are you getting Madden, Ryan?
I don't know. I haven't the last year or two
You
because
didn't get it
it's the
last year?
same. Mm-mm, not till late.
They're saying this is the make or break one. That this is the one that they have to like do, or this gonna completely fall off. Which
It's the
okay,
same thing.
that's what everyone's been saying for years. Like we're tired of the same product every single year, and we're ready
It's
for something else.
it's a big difference when you're upgrading your console and the Madden from Madden of 1998 to Madden of now. It's okay, fair enough. It's way better looking. And the graphics are better and probably the movement's better, but it's not getting better now.
No, I don't. I think the biggest differences, like you said, were if you went from Xbox One to the Xbox Series X, that was actually like it was actually a different game at that point. Like they actually had updated to where it felt like a different game. The mechanics were different, the playbooks were different, and that's kind of sad where you have to play a new console before you get the updated game, which that was kind of whatever. But you know, EA's on their BS. What do you call it? Where you just get maddened. You know what I mean? I feel like I was getting maddened before even playing the game.
Didn't they admit that that's part of their algorithm is getting maddened? Like that's a major problem for me. It's a major
Bro,
problem for me.
what was it when we watched the we watched the pro league and like a dude got so mad during a game. He was so good, but he got so mad that he shot the place up because he was just getting
Yeah,
maddened all game. Like
yeah,
he literally just couldn't handle the pressure. It wasn't him. I don't think he was performing bad. Madden just that game decided that he wasn't winning, and he
yeah.
literally couldn't believe it. And I fully believe that frustration, understand that frustration because I have been in the middle of it with friends or online, and just randomly all the plays that I know are like home run hitters just aren't working. My receivers that are 99s just aren't catching a ball. You know what I mean? Just randomly. Yeah, and that look, Madden's on that BS. Hopefully they fixed it, but they did add some mechanics in there, which that's for the super gamers and stuff. They added some new touches to it, so we'll see how it goes. But the hot topic right now is not the mechanics; it is actually the ratings. And so let's hit the
That's my
ratings real
favorite.
quick. That's
Yeah,
I
I love the
think that's
ratings.
everybody's favorite, bro.
My
I
favorite.
just listened to the Kelsey brothers podcast, and they were talking about their ratings, and I guess Travis got a 99, which obviously he is the 99. Like there is no, I don't think there's any tight end currently or ever to be on the same level as Travis Kelsey.
No.
You can list some guys up there, Gonzalez and stuff like
Yeah,
that, like
yeah. Gronkowski
Kellen
maybe
Winslow,
for
Gronkowski,
a period of
even
time.
yeah, even Turtle there for a while. But
No.
I I just don't think that we've ever seen a tight end like him. I think he'll be after he retires will be like seen as the greatest tight end ever play until the next one. Uh,
Oh,
and then Jason got like a 92 rating, which I think was a little
it's very high for an offensive lineman.
okay. But name me another center that's better than him. I'll give you one currently, but all time, I don't think I can name one. I think they we'll go into the ratings here in a minute, but I'm pretty sure Creed Humphrey, which is the Kansas City Chiefs tight end, center is.
Mhm.
I think he got number one, and I'm that dude is well deserved, even though he's like year
What is
two,
he
but
rated? What is he
I think he's
rated?
like a 95. I don't know. Before we
Exactly.
get into all them, though, you want to go into what position do we want to go into first before we get into this debate?
Oh well, let's start with offensive line.
Okay, let's start there. Let's go position. You want to
I
start?
know,
You want to
I know where the
start
top
at
guard
center?
went. Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's start at center. Ooh. Let's see. Position. Why is it bringing up quarterback? They made this supposedly easy to do. There we go. All right. Oh, I was wrong. All right. Number 1 is Jason Kelsey. Wow. I thought it was Creed Humphrey over him. Yeah, so Jason Kelsey at 92, Creed Humphrey at 90, Corey Lindsey at 88, and then some guys you guys have never heard of all below them.
What about
So I'm at
B-Daz? Is
what a
B-Daz
who?
on there? Is call him badass. He's the center for the Cowboys.
He is
B-Daz.
not. He is not in the top 10.
No, no doubt.
He's below. He's somewhere in the 70s or below. I look okay now that I see it in front of me. 92 for Jason. Yeah. Okay. At least he got the respect this year. Yeah. So he's number 1. Creed Humphrey number 2. I like that list. That's fine with me. Everybody else I've never really heard of, so that's kind of an unfair position. Where are we going
Name
now?
them all. What teams have the best centers? Top 10.
Oh, okay. Let's do that then, because I don't know who these other guys are. 3 is the Chargers. 4 is the Lions. 5 is the Buccaneers. 6 is New England. 7 is Miami, Bengals, Ravens, and Bears. So,
Okay.
and it's a big variance too from the last person I
Crazy.
named all the way up to the first person. So the last person's a 79, where Jason is a 92. So like that's a huge variance between the top to the
Massive.
bottom of a top 10. Yeah, that's huge.
And in
I
Madden
actually
terms,
don't.
massive.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. That's Jason will actually, hold a block and stuff between somebody else who's a 90, where that other dude there will get completely
Yeah.
crushed by like an 80, 81 player.
And your number 10's getting smashed at that point in time.
Okay. Where do you want to go?
Why not go to the tight end?
Okay. Let's look at tight end. See what we got. We already know who
I mean,
number 1
obviously,
is.
Travis
Travis
Kelsey's got to
Kelce.
be number 1.
Number 1, 99. We all agree there. This is where I'm kind of interested, these next 4. Okay. Number 2 is George Kittle at a
Yeah.
96.
Okay.
Number
Yeah.
3 is Mark Andrews, bro. I think Mark Andrews is better than George Kittle, personally.
No.
Yes.
No. It's
He,
bigger.
bro, he was their offense. Like, he is their offense.
I'm not saying he's not
Like,
good. I think George Kittle's better.
the only reason I would bump, and I would just switch them, but Kittle's a 96, Andrews 95. The only reason I would switch them is because of durability. Kittle's always injured, but when he's on the
Yeah.
field, he's unbelievable. That's the only reason I think I would switch him. I think both of them are awesome players. You can't really argue. Honestly, you really can't even make the argument what I'm making right now. Okay, number 4 is T.J. Hawkinson at a 90, and that gets me in my feelings. No, Dallas Goedert is number 5. Stop it. Dallas Goedert is, to me, is better than T.J. Hawkinson. I'm sorry. You can't compare the two. Hawkinson is injured most of the time, and then look at their numbers. It's not even the same. It's not even the same. I'm not saying Hawkinson isn't good. I'm just saying that I think Goddard is number 4. Okay. Goddard's an 89 though. It's not that bad. I can't really complain that much, but I would switch Hawkinson and Goddard. I think Goddard should be a 90, and I think Hawkinson should be 88, 89. Here's another interesting one. Number 6 is Kyle Pitts.
Okay.
Ow. Bro, I get him every year in fantasy football, and he's trash. He's single-handedly lost me games before because he just refuses to be awesome. And every year he's a fringe player that I'm like,
Yeah, I think he's a good idea
he's gonna
player.
be great.
He's
What?
a good idea player. Man, that dude's gonna be good. And they just don't use
And you
him.
think, and then you're like, every year you have every game you have to start him because of his name. He's Kyle Pitts. You know what I mean? He could go for 20 points. Yet he has never gone for 20 points. And he might, but he's never I've never seen it. You know what I mean? Good God. Anyways, the next one's Darren Waller. I like Darren Waller there. Pat Fairmouth from the Steelers, David Njoku, Evan Ingram. Don't have any complaints there. I think the rest of that's fine.
I think Evan
Okay,
Ingram
so-
should be higher.
he got injured though. You know what I mean? Like he was oft injured. I think last year he had a good year, and I know that these ratings are based off of what everyone did last year. So, uh, I would say he's going to take a bigger jump this year, and I know they paid him this year, so he just got another contract. All right, let's head to. You want to hit? Let's hit some running backs, huh? Let's hit some
Yeah,
running backs.
a lot of controversy with the running backs lately.
I
They want to
like.
get paid, and they're not getting paid.
This is an interesting list. All right, number one, Nick Chubb, 97.
Okay, yeah,
I like it. I was gonna say I
yeah.
would figure everyone at the number two. Everyone would say it should be
But
number one. Number two
can we
is
be
Christian
fair?
McCaffrey.
Hold, the Browns have, according to Madden, the best offensive line.
So far, bro, I guarantee you, like they have the best
Nick
line. They
Chubb
have
should
decent
be up
receivers.
there. He
He
should be up
should be
there.
up there. And then you got Deshaun Watson at quarterback. Like, I wonder what the overall team rating for the Browns is going to be. It's got to
Could be
be
in
at
the
least an
90s.
85, maybe the
Could be in
90s.
the
Yeah,
90s at this
yeah,
point in
maybe.
time.
I know, it's so crazy. The flip that they've done. Okay, anyways, Nick
You're gonna
Chubb, no
lose.
one
You're
disagrees there.
gonna lose.
Yeah, exactly. It's the most Brown thing. Anyways, Nick Chubb, I like Nick Chubb. I think he should probably be at 98, 99. I think he's awesome. Madden rated him at 97. Little bless. Number two is Christian McCaffrey, which we all saw there. I hate playing with Christian McCaffrey in Madden though. He gets ran over. He has great like shifty move, like juking and stuff mechanics, but he just you're gonna get tackled with him no matter what. There's zero break
Yep.
tackle with the guy, and it sucks. And I think that's not fair. I think the dude deserves better than that. But I'm not gonna complain too much about his positioning there. I think the injuries kind of bumps him down a little bit. But number three is Josh Jacobs. This was based off of
Terrible.
last year.
That's
Remember this is
terrible.
last year he was the man. Okay, he was awesome last year. He had a ton of yards. He had a lot of yards from scrimmage, and he had a lot of touchdowns. But overall, yeah,
He's
no, I don't think
terrible.
he's not.
He's a good running back.
Look at his numbers from last year, bro. Like they weren't bad. I see where they're coming from, but I wouldn't have put him this high. There's no way. Top three, because the next person is a grown man, and his name is Derrick Henry, and
Yeah, that's what I was put three.
Derrick Henry to me might be number two over Christian McCaffrey because, good God, the man threw two touchdowns last year. I'm the whole one you can't see. He threw two touchdowns last year. He ran everybody over constantly. When he runs, when he breaks away, he's awkwardly running away from everybody. I have never seen a man that big run that fast. It's the most awkward.
He's unbelievable. Yeah.
But I have him in my fantasy leagues every year, and I freaking love him. Love him. I have a keeper league with him in there. I'm keeping him again. I might keep him over Jalen Hurts. I ain't gonna lie to you. I have him and Jalen Hurts, and I'm figuring out who I want to keep between the two. It's probably going to be him. The next one is Shaquan Barkley at number. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You think that 5? Yeah, number 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a good year. Austin Eckler's next, then Jonathan Taylor.
So
Aaron
I would actually
Jones.
put Austin Eckler in the top 3. Okay.
No. Look, I know he had a good year last year, but I don't think Austin Eckler's that
He's
great.
had a good and amazing past 3 or 4 seasons.
Okay. I mean, okay.
He's unbelievable.
Okay. There are people who believe the same thing that you do. Clearly, Madden thinks he's a top 10, so okay. I just don't. Every time I watch the guy, he doesn't like wow me. But I do understand he's probably the best receiving back there is in the league right now. I do give him roses for that. So I don't think he has power. I know he has speed, and I know he's great at from. He pretty much is like a freaking what you call it, like a number 3 receiver for them. He literally just goes out, catches passes, and is awesome that way. So that's great. If you're in a PPR league, that's what you want. The next one, I don't even know where I am here, is Jonathan Taylor. I mean, he kind of had a bad year last year, but
had a bad year. That's it.
Yeah, I think so. He has an awesome line. Bad year, but I also think it was because of Carson Wentz, or was Carson Wentz there last year? No, it was Matt Ryan, which is just as bad. So like I completely get. There's no quarterback play there, so I get it. Aaron Jones, Tony Pollard, Joe Mixon is the next stuff. Tony Pollard.
Aaron Jones is the one I have a problem with.
You don't like Aaron Jones?
You know, you don't like Eckler. I'm like Aaron Jones. I'm like, really, that guy?
The same thing. Yeah, it's weird. I think Joe Mixon's better than both Aaron Jones and Tony Pollard. To be honest with you, but he's not
Yes.
consistent. He's not a week to week consistent guy. One week he's going to get you 6 points. The next week he can go for 3 touchdowns. It's really strange with him. I have no idea. Every time I draft him, I don't know when to start him. I have to look at opposing defenses, and then he still confuses me.
I don't know how
Overall,
you
the
get
list
Tony
isn't
Pollard
bad.
up there. Tony
I
Pollard
have
shouldn't
no
be up there.
idea. How is he an
Now,
88, bro? I
he,
don't know.
when he actually ran the ball, he was great. Look, and I love him, but he hasn't
Okay,
been the lead man
is
yet.
he better than Alvin Kamara though?
Kamara had a terrible year last year.
He did, but I'm just saying, is he better than Alvin? I wouldn't say he is. I wouldn't say he is. Not yet. Is he better than Travis Etienne when he was healthy?
No way.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And Etienne's like down 6 from there. What about Damian Pierce? Like, yeah, I don't get it. I think their list could, the running back list could definitely use.
To be fair, it does change. I mean, as the year goes on, it does change.
They do update it. I get you. All right, let's just do a few more. I don't want to cover everybody here. Go along with it. Let's do wide receivers and then quarterbacks, and we'll wrap that. Wide receivers. All right. If you had to do it, what are your top 3 before I say Madden's?
I already know the list.
Oh no. No, okay. Well, number 1 is Justin Jefferson, 99. Yes.
Yeah.
I hate the Philadelphia Eagles for not drafting him. It still brings me trauma. Number 2 is Tyreek Hill at 98. Okay.
No.
Yeah, that one's a little rough for me. I think he's top 10.
Yeah.
I think he's top 10. But once his speed is gone, I think you said this last year, once his speed is gone, who is he? We'll see.
Absolutely nothing.
Number 3 is Devontae Adams. I don't like he wasn't when Devontae Adams was at Green Bay, he was that guy, and we all knew it. And there was nothing we could do about it. But for some reason last year, he just wasn't. He still had some awesome plays and some awesome catches, but he just wasn't. But him at 3, number 4 is Cooper Kupp, and I don't even know if he played last year. Did he not play last year? Like, didn't he get injured like the second game?
Did he get injured? Yeah. He played.
Okay, well, I love Cooper Kupp. I think he's awesome. He reminds me of Jason Witten, bro. He's so slow, but for some reason he's always open and he always is just scoring touchdowns. I don't get it.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, I think he should be top 10, but lower, top 10. Next is Stephon Diggs. How is he above Jamar Chase? I don't know, but he's above Jamar Chase. I think Jamar Chase is top 3. I think where Devontae Adams is, Jamar Chase should be. Just me personally.
Another one I think should be higher than that, but keep going.
Then we have DeAndre Hopkins.
Terrible.
Okay.
I love the guy.
What?
Don't get me wrong, but he's not. Stop it. Stop it.
He's a heck of a route runner. Has no speed at all. Lost all that. Then we have Terry McLaurin. I love Terry McLaurin. I think he's a heck of a receiver. I think he's probably top 10, top 15, lower in there. But if he had a better quarterback, he would be better.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think he'd be better. Next is A.J. Brown and then Amari Cooper.
How is A.J. Brown? Cooper shouldn't be on the list. And how is A.J. Brown so low?
He's a 91, which is mad disrespectful, but like...
Why did they rate him so low?
I don't, bro. They hate the Eagles, bro.
He's so good.
How is CeeDee Lamb not here? Like, how is CeeDee Lamb below Amari Cooper?
I don't know. I don't think he should be on the list, but I don't.
Next one. The next one below Amari Cooper at 11 is CeeDee Lamb. That's ridiculous. Mike Evans, 12. Debo Samuel's 13. What are we doing?
All guys that should be up there.
That should be up there. What are we doing?
Terrible list. Yeah. I'm not saying they're wrong. I just don't agree with them.
I want you to know that I know you don't like Devontae Smith, but he did break the top 20. He's number 20. He's awesome.
Okay.
He's awesome. Hey, he made number 100 out of the NFL 100 top 100 players.
How many starters are there in the NFL?
All of them. Yeah. Then no, I have no idea.
It's not hard to make the top 100 if you're a starter. It's not hard. Come on, man.
I mean, there's 22 times 32. I mean, it's still pretty good. That's still pretty good.
Let's remove most of the offensive linemen off that list. Right? Let's remove most of the tight ends off that list.
Here we go, cherry picking, bro. This is the most cowboy thing you can do. Why do you hate him for? Why do you hate him?
Terrible.
He's not terrible. He had like 1,200 yards last year. He was great. He ran like 2. He only did like Yeah, AJ Brown's gonna let you get open, bro. You serious? He's AJ Brown.
Okay.
He had 900 yards by himself the year before with nobody else behind him.
And
They
like
only had to cover
led the
him.
league in drops. It was terrible.
Bro, look, I don't know why you hate the man, but he's like that, okay? He was like the number he was like the I think he won the Heisman in college. Have you what was the last receiver
So
that
did
you heard?
Tim Tebow. So did tons of people that are
But who
terrible in the
was the
NFL.
last wide
Vince
receiver who
Young.
won it in college, bro? Who won the Heisman? You can't name one. It's always quarterbacks. It's always running backs, bro. Everybody knows this, but he was a wide receiver who did it. Yeah, look, it's okay. It's all right.
Boo.
You're gonna
Terrible.
get me out of character, bro. Not today. Not today, Satan.
I think he's terrible, man.
I don't get it. I know you hate. Look, and the thing is, I know you're speaking genuine. Like, I don't think that you don't like the guy because he's on the Eagles. I think you genuinely just don't like the guy. But I understand.
I think he's a good number 2. I think he's like a CD Lamb. A good number 2.
I think CeeDee Lamb proved this year that he could be a good number 1. I think he was good. But I think CeeDee Lamb's going to make more progress this year now that Brandon Cooks is there. Let's put it like that.
There we go.
With a dude who can actually, yeah. And Brandon Cooks might be better than him. I don't know. I've always loved Brandon Cooks, and I have no idea why he always, every year it's like he's traded to a new team and nobody wants him. And I don't understand. Ever since he was on, what was it, New Orleans, he was awesome. I have no idea why people, anyways, everyone loves to hate that guy, and I don't understand why. I wish the Eagles would have picked him up. That was a great pickup by the Cowboys. All right, let's go to quarterbacks, and then we'll move on. We know who number 1 is. It's going to be Patrick Mahomes, 99, no question. The man, honestly, they should do Patrick Mahomes number 1, and then Patrick Mahomes with a broken leg number 2 at like a 97. Just like make him 2 different categories. Like there's healthy Patrick Mahomes, and then injured Patrick Mahomes, because we still lost to Patrick Mahomes with a bum leg. So don't know how that works. Anyways, number 2 is Joe Burrow. Number 3 is Josh Allen. I don't mind those 2 there. I do think that they're both.
I like Josh Allen, but he's too high.
Okay, well, number 4 is really going to piss you off then.
Compare his numbers to Dak.
I would take Josh Allen over Dak every day. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I hate Josh Allen's attitude. I think he's a big whiner. He reminds me of like Tony Stewart, if you know who that was.
And he has no beard game, and he's on the shaving commercials, and I'm always like, really? Why do you have peach fuzz on there, bro? Like, what are you doing?
It's like he has like peach fuzz that the camera can't even pick up.
I would have put Herbert above him. A lot of people.
Do you remember when Troy Polamalu did the hair commercials with the Polymolecules?
Yeah. That's good.
I don't know why that just reminded me of that, but those are so funny. Okay, so look, I like Mahomes there. I think Joe Burrow could be number 2. That's fine. Josh Allen number 3 is debatable there. I think he's top 5, but maybe too high at 3. Number 4 though is just ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Lamar Jackson at number 4, off of last year's work. He literally like went and sprained an ankle and then said, "I'm done. You're not paying me," and then left. How do you come up with this, Madden? Because the person underneath him absolutely deserves to be in the top 5. Jalen Hurts. I'm sorry. For last year's body of work, he needs to be top 5. How is Lamar Jackson better than? Look, when Lamar Jackson's healthy and he's running the ball, he's the best runner. I think he might be. I think he might be better than the running backs. I don't know. Like he might be a top 5 running back. You know what I mean? Like if you just transferred him to a running back, he's
like. But he can throw too. It's different than Justin Fields.
But it's so awkward. He'll throw like a 90-yard bomb, but just like flicking his wrist. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. He reminds you of like when Cam Newton used to do it, like back in prime Cam in 2016. Yeah. Cam would just barely move his arm, and the ball would just like 90 yards. You're like, what in the world? Look, Lamar Jackson top 10, but like.
He didn't play last year. No.
Yeah, but based off of his year, no. I think the rating at 91 is fine because I think he is a 91 quarterback, but he can't be top 10. Like you have to move everybody else up. You know what I mean? Okay, so that's the top 5. Number 6 is Dak Prescott at 87. I think he's number 10. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't think he's better than Justin Herbert, he's above. I don't think he's better than Aaron Rodgers, who he's above, than the next person. I do think he's better than Kirk Cousins, and I do think he's better than Tua. Those are the round out of the bottom there. So I think I would put him at like 8, but I don't think he's better than Justin, and I don't think he's better than Aaron. That's just me.
He's as good or almost as good as Josh Allen. I think that
It,
Aaron
I,
Rodgers is hard
it
to
doesn't
argue.
have
He
the
probably should be higher.
I think
Probably be
Aaron
higher.
should be higher. Yeah. I don't think Dak has the consistent accuracy, but Dak has the consistent numbers. And
You
as
can't
far
use
as
that
like
argument if
touchdowns
you
and
don't do it
yards,
on Josh Allen too, because they're
no
the same.
doubt. But, but also, you know, no, I mean, I guess I'm thinking about like the body comparisons and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right as far. But do you think that Dak is currently? Do you think that Dak is better than Jalen Hurts?
No,
No, I don't think so either. And
Jo-
obviously, we don't think
Jalen
he's
Hurts
not better than
should sit in that
than
number
Burrow
three
either.
spot. You got to rate him at that number 3 spot. You have to.
After
He
what
was
he did, yeah,
accurate,
he
fast.
outplayed Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Yeah, he had better
Yeah,
numbers than him. What are you
yeah.
doing?
He
I
was
agree
really
with you.
good.
Yeah. That list kind of like when I saw that because they came out with that on a Friday, they made that the last one to come out with. I was like, bro, this is a joke. Like, who are they watching? What they have to come out with these, and then like when the game comes out, they just like fix everything, right? Like they do this like so everyone's talking about like doing what we're doing right now, talking about Madden, right?
Yeah.
That's what they're doing this for. Okay, that's what it has to be because this is crazy. All right. So we're gonna keep on moving on with pack news. Before we do that, I saw something that I want to see what you thought about. There's this thing. You know what a Keurig is?
Yeah, Katie.
Yes. Okay.
Katie Couric.
Yeah. Katie Keurig. That do you know that? Somebody like the coffee machine, the Keurig and
Yeah, some
the
of them
Nespresso and
might
stuff.
have
Okay.
one. Yeah.
So there's this thing that is called the bartesian, and it literally is the same kind of concept. You put these pods in there, and it makes you drinks like alcoholic beverages. It's like
Oh,
I thought you would be interested. I'll have to send you a picture of it, man. I'll see if I can post a picture down here of it here pretty soon. It looks just like a Keurig, and it has pods and everything. You literally tell it how strong you want the drink, how weak you want the drink, how you want it to taste, kind of a deal. And so, like, if you want like a whiskey sour, you put in the pod for a whiskey sour, and it just makes it for you. Tell how big or small you want it, and then boom, it's there. Now, I've never
do you
tried
know
it
how
before, and
it's
what?
super easy to make a drink though? Like it's
Yeah, bro, but come on. You know me and you would love something like this. I don't have to actually mix and do everything and lay everything out. Like I just get to put a pot in and press a button, bro. That's fantastic. That was a good one. I ain't gonna lie. Why didn't we think
is
about this
the
first? I don't know. Look, Ryan, I don't even want to hear it. You're 95% of the time
is
that we're gaming or doing anything, it's little mama, give me a drink. Hey, tell your mom to give me a drink. Like you wouldn't need this if you. I wouldn't need it either if I had a bartender constantly making me a drink too. So I get it. But the
but it's
Bartesian's a pretty
is
good
there
idea. Like I ain't
alcohol
gonna lie.
in the pod?
Yes. Yeah. And you get to tell it how weak or strong you want it to do it. Yeah. So here's the thing though, like I think that we need to if we do get one, like I would need to find our drink, right? Because it can't make everything good, right? Like if it's gonna make you a margarita, like I want to taste what the margarita is like. Because you can tell the difference between an actual fresh made margarita versus one of the like the ones like in the like the icy margaritas. Like I hate those ones out
No,
of the
that's a
icy
mix.
machine.
That's different.
Like the
Yeah.
pre-mix and stuff. Like I don't want
Yeah.
that. So does it taste like a pre-mix or does it taste like like a homemade kind of a drink? Because that's a whole different. If it's a homemade kind of a drink, bro, sign me up. Yeah, I'm all in. Are you serious? I just gotta walk over. Like it takes all the worry out of it. Yeah, I can't make a bad drink anymore. Yeah, I'm in.
I'm
I'm just
just
saying,
I'm too
Bartesian.
old. It's killing me. Like I'm the first thought that comes to my mind is once if I have that here and my kids get a little bit older, I'm gonna lock it up.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that would be really easy access for your kids to get to some drinks. Because right now, I mean, Carson can't even. I mean, he can reach his hands on the top of the counter, but there's no way. I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess that would be a bad thing. Well, but then maybe you wouldn't need to lock the thing up. You would just need to lock the pods up, right? Just like keep the pods
Yeah, I
pods
guess
in
you could
like
do
your
the same
saver.
thing as you do your liquor, I guess. Different.
Yeah. So that part there, I don't know. And then I had one more thing for you here. You were messing with this the other day, and I just wrote this down on my notes. You were messing with AI, the AI thing.
Yeah.
How did that go? Because I have questions, bro. This whole AI thing is freaking me out. So apparently, just us having this conversation right here, AI can just use our voices right now and just like make or
That's
make
amazing.
our make a brand new podcast using the words that we've said here, and it would sound just like us, and
So
and
yeah,
use our face and everything, bro. Like I'm completely blown away by all this. The reason I know this is because there's this account on TikTok, which I don't know if you watch TikTok or not, but it's this account on TikTok, and it has like three or four of the U.S. presidents all talking to each other, and they're all talking mad trash to each other. It's hilarious. And they're all playing Call of Duty when they're doing it. And I don't know if it's AI or voice acting, but I'm assuming it's AI. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is. They're using like AI to do their little voice stuff. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. But the voices are unbelievable. And some
Yeah,
of the the robocalls too. I don't know if you've heard about this one. Sorry, I know I interrupted you again, but I guess you can get calls. So like your daughter calling you, it'd be like your daughter calling you saying that she got captured, and it sounds just like her. So like that's
yeah,
the
that's
other side of
creepy.
AI that I've seen going around too, and I'm like, bro, how as a parent would you react to that? That's the craziest thing. And of course
Yeah,
they're getting a bunch of old people. You know what I mean?
you're gonna call the
So
cops. I mean, it, it's it's a whole different world, and you're looking at like I messed around with AI to make a dad pack podcast website. It
yeah,
designed it, has no idea who we are, has no idea nothing. Just told it a couple of things, and it designed something, and then you tell it more, and it'll fill in the blanks for you to fill in those things, and
crazy.
it's crazy. And
That's
then
nuts.
you can have a conversation with it, which is even crazier. So you can just kind of convince it to talk about things, or rephrase your question to get it to tell you what you want it to say or what you want it to do. Like you can manipulate it, and so it's
That's
very creepy. And you can, but I want, like, if you want to cheat on a test, you could essentially be like, or you could essentially just be like, look, I need this paper written, and then when it writes it, be like, okay, but now I need it to be like,
okay. So
here's a
be
few of
honest
my
with me.
papers.
Stop it. So Ryan right now is in school for college. You were taking like a biology class the other day. Are you using AI? Don't
No.
tell me that. Come on, bro. If I had to write a term paper
Ask
and
me,
it had to be
ask
over
me a
like the,
question. I know it all, baby. I got an A,
but do
baby.
you? I'll say good for you.
Yeah, no,
Hey,
no,
bro.
that's not why you go to school, man. You don't go to school to cheat. I'm too old for that.
I know. Look,
I'm a
I get
nerdy
it.
old dude. I'm
I
learning.
get that. But also, when you're in your basics, I'm not trying to write a 12-page report on U.S. history. I'm not doing that. Okay, I already went to U.S. history class. I did that already. I don't want to go to college and have to write a 12-page term report. I would much rather just go to ChatGPT and say, write me a 12-page term report on Texas history and call that. Okay, the legwork is what I'm talking about. The learning is different, obviously, but I don't want to do that. What's the point? What's the point? What's the point of that? I can do what I'm told. That's what that is. Okay, I'm good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
but you
thank
still
you
have to have like human interaction in life,
for sure. Yeah.
when that comes in, like it's a good idea to know what the hell you're talking about, and
I'm
to
saying the knowledge is there, but I don't want to have to write a 12-page term report for it. Like I think
nobody
that's
wants to
dumb.
write that shit. The teacher doesn't want to grade it. I mean, I'm sure they've got shit to do to grade that stuff too. Nobody wants to grade it.
Oh,
Who
dude,
wants
no,
to
they
read
do.
my, nobody wants
Apparently,
to read
they
my
have like
12-page paper.
they got
Trust
like
me.
the teacher assistants. And the teacher assistants does everything, and the instructors just
Yeah,
show
the
up. You know
intern.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. Come on, bro. That's got to be the worst job. I don't want to
yeah.
grade a bunch of papers.
Grade these papers.
Anyways, I think AI is just growing at this rate, and like, how far are we away from Terminator? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, I know that
Not
we have
far.
like a doomsday clock that like does all like about where we are with like war status and stuff, and that, but like we need a whole different kind of clock and like system to monitor where AI is, because that is ridiculous.
Going to be a problem. They actually have just now, well, as of recent, found a way to mimic people. Like you were talking about, hey, your daughter could call or whatever. But what they're doing is like historical folks. So like George Washington or whoever. Like, and
That's
so it takes all of
that's
their
nuts.
historical stuff, and it essentially is mimicking what he would have most likely how he would have talked or what he would have said back. Insane.
Bro, imagine this. I don't know why I just had this thought, but imagine if you were able to, if I, who's your coach for the Cowboys? What's his name?
Who, who
The
cares?
Cowboys head coach? Yeah, okay. Well, look, what if you were able to use, what if you were, you know, what if you were able to come up with a way to
Just hold on, just
send?
so everybody knows, it's Mike McCarthy. I do know who it is. I'm just messing with
I
Joey.
was about to
Just
say a
where
cowboy. Oh, I was going to use Nick Sirianni next, but okay. Say you're able to copy Mike McCarthy's voice, and somehow you're in the stadium, and you can interrupt the signal to the the headphones and the Cowboys like in
I'd be
Dax,
calling slants.
bro, right? Like
Slants, slants.
I
Text that
would
play,
be
slants.
sending messages, levels, Madden
Levels.
levels, baby.
Yeah. Levels.
They would
Oh,
be so confused, bro.
he's in man motion.
Oh, shit, bro. You know it's coming, right? Like it's somebody's gonna figure it
Well,
out. Somebody's
it's
gonna
gonna
copy the
be
voice. Oh my
awesome
god.
because what they want to do with it, I know somebody talking about that. What they want to do with it is to be able to talk with your loved ones who've died. So if you want to
Oh,
talk to
that's
your dad after
crazy.
he passed away, like you can kind of give it the information it needs to. You can kind of talk through situations or whatever. And yeah, it's fake. It's a mimic of what it is, but it could give some sense of comfort, maybe. I don't know.
Comfort to it. I saw this one, and I think it's just an app, but like you download a picture on there of like a loved one that passed away. We'll use the same example of your dad, and then like the picture comes to life, and the person in the picture starts looking around, and so you get
Yeah,
to like see them like actually looking around, and it looks like they're alive again. Which that is a trippy thing to look at, but also could be an emotional thing too. So pretty
yeah.
cool. I think AI is man. I think that's going to be the human downfall. If I'm going to be honest, I know the government said like yesterday, like we just had this big meeting. They had this big meeting saying like aliens are real, and we have alien bodies, and we've known this. Like they had this whole thing, bro, and like nobody cares. Nobody
Nobody
cares right now.
cares.
It's not even on like, the news, bro. Like we're all
Yeah,
like, hey, like we're just trying to afford rent at this point, so maybe
yeah,
they would be doing us a favor at this point. Like we
yeah.
like okay,
Please
can they
invade.
can will
Please
they help
invade.
me pay? Yes, please. At this point, this might help us not have to pay rent. Like, come on,
Yes.
we're all just trying to make it at this point. Nobody cares.
What do
Whatever.
you think?
I work in a cubicle, bro. You would think that that would be like huge news, and nobody cares.
No,
Nobody.
I've literally called my parents about it, and they're like, "Huh?
Yeah, I told
Hmm.
my wife, and she's like ET. Like, is that what you're talking about? I'm like, no,
Yes,
no, it's the
yes,
weirdest thing.
aliens."
Which, bro, okay, but let me, and one of the people like at the hearing said this. I don't necessarily know if it's true because you're telling me that this alien species had the technology to go millions of light years away. They found us, but then they crash landed on us. Like they have that much technology to get to us, but then they just crash landed here. Um, I just think that's a little suspect. They might have a point there. I don't know. Maybe they weren't expecting resistance. I don't know if we shot them down. I don't know. But I just think that's a little weird. That's a pretty good point. You know what I mean? I don't know. But
So
do
let me get this right.
do
Aliens
I
aren't
think they
allowed to make
exist?
mistakes. They can't
I'm
make a
not
mistake.
saying that, bro. But they're that far ahead in technology that they know how to get to us because we don't have enough speed or fuel to go anywhere at this point, not even out of our own solar system. Right? And so they have that much technology to get to us, and they crash landed here. It just doesn't make it like there's a couple holes in this. But do I think that they exist? Absolutely. There's too much going on out there. You know what I mean? We've only explored like 1% of the entire space. It's crazy. But I do this thing is funny that the government is literally telling us that there's aliens and nobody cares. Like they're just like, okay,
They don't believe them.
cool. Yeah,
All
we're
of a
just like,
sudden
okay.
now they could have gotten rid of the conspiracy theory a long time ago by just saying yes, there's aliens. Everybody had been like, no, there's not.
Yeah. Why?
No, there's not. You
Yeah.
idiots. Why are you lying
Hey,
now?
let me walk on. Let me. What is that secret place out there in the middle of the desert? What is that called? You know, I'm talking
Area
about
fifty-one.
the area. Let me walk out on Area 51. Let somebody walk out there and let me see it first. You let us do that, then I'll believe you. I'll believe you then. You know what I mean?
There's too there's too many sightings, dude.
I
There's
believe
too
you.
many
As a matter
sightings.
of fact, the other day I saw something in the sky, and this is just me. It was the weirdest. It might have been an airplane. I have no idea, but it was a plane going by, and it had like this big projector looking out in front of it as it's going. It might have just been like the
Lights hitting the
lights in the
clouds.
clouds for sure, but I've never seen it before. I was like, "Well, that's kind of crazy." And then it showed up on a feed the next day, the same thing. It was like a Texas sky. I was like, "Oh wow!" Somebody else thought the same thing. That I was literally just taking out the trash, and I was like, "Oh, that's weird." But it's just stuff like that that gets people going. You know what I mean? Like I didn't think automatically that's an alien. I thought that's probably just an airplane with its with those lights bouncing off of the clouds and stuff. Was there clouds up there? I couldn't see any, but I have no idea. I'm not up there. I have no idea what they're. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's the craziest thing, but that's funny to me where we are as a as a people. We just don't care. Okay,
we don't
whatever.
believe.
Godzilla, bro. Godzilla could show up tomorrow and take down like New York, and then literally the next day we would just be business as usual at this point. Like,
We
okay,
might not be
whatever.
on that, but if the government came out and
I don't
said
know,
that
bro.
Godzilla came in and did some stuff,
Okay, there you go.
we'd
Then
all
we'd
be
all be
like,
like,
no way, nope,
yeah, whatever. Show us. Yeah,
nope.
we found Godzilla. Okay, yeah. It's like
Sure.
every year watching Shark Week, they're like the megalodon exists, but you never see the freaking megalodon. Like I love
And
watching
that
Shark
doesn't
Week,
exist.
but stop telling me about megalodon. Can we just look at the sharks that do exist? It's gone. The
Uh,
Meg is gone. I like the movies though. The Meg movies with the
oh, there's a
what's
new
his
one
name?
coming out. Yeah.
Yeah, there's another one coming out. I think they're freaking awesome. Anyways, all right, moving on. We're gonna hit our dad advice of the week. So, have you ever heard of the sandwich method before?
Yeah.
Now, this has to do with you have.
When you're
Is that what
talking
you said?
about talking to people about it, you're gonna make it. You want to sandwich your like you're gonna give them some good information first. You're gonna give them the bad information, then you're gonna follow it up with some good information. You're gonna
Yeah, that
sandwich it.
really is. Yeah, so this is the same thing with parenting. It's a compliment. So if it was like bread, patty, bread, it would be compliment, correction, compliment, and that's kind of how you want to go into the situation. So the base idea that I was reading and trying to understand was most people, most parents have a visceral or a bad reaction when your kid comes to you and says, "Hey, I threw a baseball at the TV and broke the TV." Obviously, your first reaction is going to be
It was
probably
actually a
pretty
car in
pretty
my
much.
house. It was a car. Hot
Okay.
Wheels.
See, so like, yeah, mostly you're gonna have a reaction to it, and
Yeah.
you're not gonna lead off with a compliment, a correction, a compliment. So obviously, this comes with
Well,
a
that was
grain of
good
salt.
throwing for him. However, you messed my TV up.
Yes,
Like,
I
no,
did.
not happening.
Yeah, yeah. So obviously, this comes with a grain of salt, but I think that the context of it, I kind of wrote the context down of it, of what they were trying to convey. But it was more like, "Hey, Dad, I messed this up, and I got a bad grade." You know what I mean? And him coming to you, the child feeling comfortable enough to come to you about it. So that's stage one, right? The child comes to you, they're comfortable enough to talk to you about whatever happened. And then so you're gonna lead off by saying, "Hey, according to this, hey, appreciate you manning up, appreciate you being honest. It takes a little bit of backbone to own up to whatever you did, right? And come to me about it." So
I'm gonna
that's your
find out
that's your
anyway,
first.
but okay.
Right. Yeah, but that as a parent now, but as a kid, you don't think that. You think you get
Yeah,
away with
fair
anything,
enough.
bro.
Yeah.
And so the next part is your correction because you just did your first compliment. So the correction, you're gonna say, how are we gonna fix the problem? What's our solution? And obviously you're gonna have to come up with that. So if it's a bad grade, you know what I mean? Hey, I know you got A's in all these other classes, you got one C here. What can we do to fix that? You don't if you have to go to down the road of like, let's take away Xbox, let's take away this or that, like that's one thing, but you want to do your best to kind of find a formal resolution without like being too hard apparently on this. I think that has to do with your child. You know what I mean? If your child is obviously gaming all day and not doing their homework and their grades are falling, that's something to deal with. You know what I mean? That's but something. I don't think that this applies to that. So I'm just trying to give body to this whole thing. So after you come up with your correction, so to speak, you want to end it with as they're walking away or whatever. I'm trying to draw a picture for you here, and you want to say, hey, I'm proud of you for bringing that up to me. It's a mark of a leader to be able to say that you're wrong or you did something wrong. You know what I mean? It's a positive thing, and you kind of want to end it on a positive note. So, I thought it was interesting. I think the sandwich method in theory works, and I think you can obviously apply it to more like where you're at, Ryan. You're in a leadership role at work, so I think you could probably apply it there. But it also depends on the context of the
Definitely.
situation. So I
Do
think
you
that the base idea of this is good. Compliment, correction, compliment, and that's how you want most of your interactions to go. But I think that you're gonna have to figure it out with the context. You know what I mean? There's no way if your kid just punched somebody in the face at school, you're gonna come in with a compliment. Good job, son. That was a heck of a right hook. Like what are you doing? So like, eh,
can we go away from the sandwich method and call it a pepperoni pizza method? Like it's problem with anything is that you need balance. What they're trying to give is balance. And if you give negative feedback to anybody, it weighs on them much more than giving good feedback. That's just
sure,
general research says that. And I think if you look at yourself, you'll realize that you focused on the negative stuff more than you did somebody saying, "Hey, good job." You know, that's I think is the point here. So but really why do you do it that way? Then because they're trying to show you balance. So your balance is that actually needs to be more good things said to your kid than bad things to your kid, and your kids need to feel safe or not scared of you to come and tell you what's going on, what's wrong. That's fine, but like it's
I
so more complex than that. And if every time you do the same thing in this weird sandwich thing, it's unnatural, it's weird, and it doesn't
Yeah.
make
They're gonna
sense.
find a way to manipulate that too. You know what I mean? Like your kids, if you do it too
Yeah.
much, they're gonna find a way. They know, like kids are smart, and they're a lot smarter than we give them credit for. You know what I mean? And they're gonna catch on to that. You know, third or fourth time you start doing it.
But
So
if you have a
I
pepperoni
in
pizza,
theory
Joey,
like it.
do you like the pepperoni pizza that's got a random pepperoni just thrown on there, or does it look better when you've got some balanced pepperoni on there? But there's no telling when they threw that pepperoni on there. There's no telling how they made that pizza. It just you want a nice balanced piece of pizza. So
For sure.
if you have to get onto your kid, you should be following through. You shouldn't just leave it at that. Go talk to your kid. Go talk to
Yeah.
him. Sit him down. Hey, listen. You know, this is not the end of the world. This is not. I won't always be mad at you. Um, part of the reason I'm mad is of the potential that I see in you, or how good you can be, and you know we need to refocus here.
Yeah.
And that's I think that the balance is probably what the sandwich method is trying to teach, but to make it so unnatural. It's weird. Everybody, what happens at work? I'll tell
Like a
you exactly
robot.
what happens at work with a sandwich. The second you lead with a compliment, they're bracing for the meat. They're bracing
We
for
know.
the meat of the
Yeah, they know
sandwich.
what's coming. Right.
They know, what did I
And
do
that's the
wrong?
only thing that they only then that's the only thing they hear too. You know
Yes,
what I mean? Despite your efforts of actually trying
it's
to give them a compliment with it, that's the only thing they hear. And dude,
it's
that's
not
natural
natural.
human behavior. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what they're gonna do. That's what I would do. You know what I mean? If
Yeah,
my wife
here
had a
we go.
complaint about me and four compliments, I'm only worried about the complaint. That way I can take care of it because how do I get that complaint up there with the compliments? You know what I mean? That's the one
Right.
I want to focus on. So I agree with you. I think there needs to be a balance. I think that there needs to be a little heat on the pizza. You know what I mean? It need to get your point across, but at the same time, do it in a obviously the best
That's the
loving
grease,
manner
baby.
that you.
That's that
Yeah,
grease that comes off
absolutely.
that
That's,
pepperoni.
I agree
Yeah.
with it. Yeah. No, I agree with you. The important part that that I'm trying to do with Carson is the emotional development that goes with it, right? And so whenever I get on to him about what I'm doing, there's the initial reaction that he's gonna have. You know what I mean? He knows he done wrong. He's gonna be looking everywhere else. He doesn't want to. You know what I mean? I can tell by his body language that he feels sad, and he's communicating a lot more now. He's telling me that, hey, yeah, I feel sad, and me and my wife will ask him, how does this make you feel? How does this conversation make you feel? So he can tell me how he's feeling about stuff too. But the important part that I'm trying to do with a 3-year-old at this point, and this is just me and my limited dad knowledge, is I'm trying to, at the end of it, um, make sure that it doesn't go past this conversation and that he knows that, right? So like just because I had to yell at you or get on to you or whatever I did for this conflict or whatever, I need you to know that doesn't change how much I love you and that doesn't change how I feel about you. That you can, like, if you go and hurt yourself, you still can come to daddy after. Like it's over from here. You know what I mean? Like there is no dragging this on. I'm not gonna think about how you did this and this made me mad from here and I'm going to be mad the rest of the day about it. You know what I mean? Like I want there to be a resolution and him to know that there's a resolution at the back end of it. And this is just part of my emotional development as a dad because like there are times when I definitely did not do that and I definitely, you know what I mean? Like I think that he still felt like I was mad at him after the time had passed. You know what I mean? After he'd already served his time in timeout or whatever it was. I want to make sure I'm giving him the appropriate discipline for it. The punishment matches the crime. You know what I mean? But at the same time, when the punishment's over, whatever it is, he needs to know that it's over and it's moving forward. Because me as a kid, I struggled with that. I couldn't separate the two, and I always thought that my parents were always mad at me all the time whenever I messed up, and I was always scared to approach them after. And it's nothing that they did wrong. It was just something that I wasn't coached through when I was a kid, and I never told them that I needed to be coached through that. You know what I mean? So now knowing that as who I am, I need to do that with little mini me. You know what I mean? So
I
it's
think
just something
that's
that I'm working on. But
the major failure of every person in any leadership role, whether it's being a father, parent, work, is that when something goes bad or when something's wrong, now it's your time to address it. You're required to. Like, that's your job, is to go and address what's going wrong. And we literally spend all our time doing that and no time reinforcing all the good stuff. Like, at work you might get a bad evaluation or a negative log entry for something, but the next step is okay. Well, like, what can I write this person up for positive? Well, look, I saw them doing this. Well, there's a lot of mentality out there. Well, that's their job. Or as a kid, you're supposed to behave, so therefore you're behaving. There's nothing good about that. That's just how you should be. When really we should probably be reinforcing that good behavior of, oh wow, look, they're actually sharing and playing nice together. Well, that's what we wanted, so we don't say anything about it. We really should probably walk over there and be like, I don't know, something even small as a dap. Yeah, my boy. Yeah,
Yeah,
nice job.
absolutely.
That's we don't do any of that because we just expect
I
it.
exactly. Yeah. I mean, in a professional setting, absolutely. From a parenting setting, I will say I have been doing this a lot lately, but I try not to make it like corny, you know what I mean? But I tell him all the time that he's awesome. It sounds corny, bro. I literally will set him on a counter and look at him and say, "Dude, you're awesome. I need you to know that.
Yeah,
You're an awesome
you should.
kid. You're amazing. The way he's learning, the way he has a big heart on his sleeve, you know what I mean? Like he really is an awesome kid, and I'm blessed to be his father. But like I need him to know that, and I need him to like have that voice that's in your head for him to know that he is an awesome person. I don't want him thinking and going around having any negative. And he's only 3. You know what I mean? I don't even know if he has the voice in his head yet. You know what I mean? Like I have no idea what his little world contains of. You know what I mean? But
Well,
at a young age, I want to
you,
build that up in him.
so there's what I tell my kids, and I think I heard it from a speech or a sermon or something, but I just tell them almost every night, you are special, and there's a special plan for you. You are here for a reason. You are meant to be here. God has a special plan for you, and I love you
Yeah.
every night. And I think a lot of us spend most of our lives wondering what in the world we're here for, or what are we supposed to be doing, and what it gets so confusing. And I think it weighs on people, and they don't feel like they're worth anything. Not because nothing's good or nothing, they just have no idea that they're
Get
special. And
lost
your
in the
role
haze
in life,
days. Yeah.
yes, if your role in life is to roll forks and spoons in a napkin, okay, like
Hey, I
that's
used to
that.
do that back in my old job. You know what I mean? When I was a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, I did it too.
That's
You know? No, I
that's
get it.
your special place for today. And then and you are still worth something, and you are, and like, you don't want them to lose their worth. I think that's really, really
True.
important. But
And
if
this
my
is kind of
kids,
point too, but dads listening, I think it's just important for you to know that too. Like just because you had one bad day of parenting, like you can still you
Mhm.
if you get to wake up tomorrow, you still get to have another chance at being an awesome dad. You know what I mean? Because I've had that happen to me too, where I made one mistake and I'll just beat myself up and beat myself up and beat myself up, and I get lost in what I'm doing. And this is gonna sound ridiculous though, but like I found purpose in parenting. Like I feel like there was a whole part of my life where I was like just like sleepwalking through my life, and then it was like Carson was born, and boom, I woke up. Like it was this weird thing that just like happened to me when he was born, and it's given me so much purpose, shall I say. And so like now when it comes to all this parenting stuff, like bro, there are days where I'll just beat myself up over this stuff. So like you as a dad need to take it easy on yourself too. So I know we want to convey that to our kids, but also like dads don't get enough love as it is. So like don't be the person to kick yourself down as well. You know what I mean?
yeah, don't you
Sounds
think
corny,
that
but
that's a
I'm the worst
it's like
at
a
it, bro. I'm the
mentality?
worst. Yes.
Everybody is hard, but usually their worst critic. But when it comes to, you're worried about, especially if you're like in a public setting and things go bad, you feel that pressure of people watching and needing you to fix stuff, and you want to judge parents, and you want to tell them, like, oh, just get your kid quiet, or spank your kid, or don't spank your kid, or that. In the meantime, this parent is
Going
literally
through it, dude.
has a job to work out the long game and not the short game. You
Yep.
as a spectator are worried about the short game. Get them quiet, get them whatever I want. In the meantime, the parent is usually trying to figure out the long game. And that's a extremely difficult task. You could probably get it wrong. You're going to get it
There's a
wrong.
term for this, but like there's a I forgot the name of it, but it's like when you pass by people and then you actually have the reality or like the understanding that every person that you pass his life is just as complex as yours. Whatever you have going on in your life is their life is. But a lot of people don't have that conscious thought when you're thinking when you're passing by people, and we're so easy to make a quick judgment, like a quick lapse, like decision of, oh my god, this parent obviously doesn't have it together because their kid's crying in a cart. I was terrible at that in my 20s. I was like, I didn't understand. I was like, what? Why would you even bring your kids out here to a movie theater or to a Walmart or whatever if you knew they were going to act up like this? Clearly, they're acting up when really, bro, now as a parent, I'm like, let me go. Like it would be awkward, but like, hey, bro, like, do you want me to finish your shopping list while you get that kid taken care of? Like, I absolutely would do that. You know how
Yeah,
many times I've hooked up a parent with a diaper and a baby wipes and just gave them the whole pack. Here you go, take it. And they just look at me like I'm crazy because they don't get enough support out there. And 90% of the time, people looking at them aren't looking to help them; they're looking at judging them. And so, dude, if I see it, I'll be like, the first thing I do is, here you go. Hey, you forgot the diaper bag? Done it like 10 times now. Here you go. I didn't forget mine today. And it's the first thing I try to do. And I try to do that. And it hasn't happened back to me yet. No, but I'm assuming one day it will. So I think generally as parents, the parenthood should, stick together, take it easy on each other. That is a whole different thing. And that's nuts to me. But
yeah.
I used to be like that, bro. I used to be judgy. I did. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Everybody,
I
everybody
I
has.
did I just didn't understand, dude. I didn't understand it. I had no idea the challenges every day that they were going through. Had no idea. And until you live like walk in the shoes, dude. No matter what kid you have, a perfectly quiet kid who's just acts perfect all the time, or you have the opposite end where they're crazy. You have no idea the challenges that those parents are going through. You know what I mean? Every day. And you were the person actually that taught me that. When we were back working together back in the old days, so to speak, is you never know what someone's house is, what's going on in that house. You never know.
They trying
And
to
so it was,
escape the craziness of what's going on in that house. They probably just need a moment
oh
of
man, yeah,
sanity.
yep. Hey, dude, even now, I will tell my wife there are days when I'm just like, hey, whether she's stressed or she's not stressed, I'm like, get out. I got this little man. I got him. Go get your nails done. Go get a massage. Go do whatever to go hit the store for a minute. Just go walk around. You don't have to buy anything. And she does. She'll do her thing. She likes to go to like the Container Store. That's like her spot, her place. Dude, she loves organization. That's like her thing. And it makes her happy. Don't care. Go. That's cool. I don't have to go. That's cool. That's even better because I would just awkwardly stand there behind you, not caring. Um, but she does the same thing for me too. She'll tell me if me and my friends are having a whatever. She'll be like, "Yeah, go, go." It's not even a question anymore. Before, whenever he was a baby, my son was a baby, bro. I was terrified to be alone with him. I was terrified. If she got away for 10 minutes, bro, I was like, dude, I thought I couldn't do anything right. I didn't know how to change diapers. I didn't know how to feed a kid the bottle. He started crying. I had no idea what he was crying for. And I was so mad at myself for like the first like 3 months when my son was born because I had no idea what was going on. And I felt like I was on an island. So then my wife would come in and her presence would just change the room for Carson and for me. Carson was comfortable. And then it was like a freaking 100-pound weight off my shoulders because now I get help. So like, bro, yeah, yes. Take the time for yourself. I absolutely 100% agree with that. And at that time, I needed the time. You know what I mean? Too. I'm with it. But all right, we think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up there. Um,
Dad pack.
pack news, bro.
Oh yeah,
pack news. Come
my
on,
bad.
bro.